Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place where everything related to Amazon, FBA, private label, and e-commerce. So my name is Vincenzo Toscano, founder and CEO of Ecomcy, and today we bring you another special guest. Her name is Robin Devon Calandri. She's the marketing director at Yakky, where it's basically all-in-one solution for e-commerce businesses. They have so many solutions, and it's going to be a very insightful conversation because I feel we as e-commerce sellers, we're always looking for that solution out there that can help us scale our business forward. And I definitely think Jackie can be your perfect companion for that. So Robin, pleasure to have you on the show. How you doing?
Vincenzo, hi. Thank you for having me here. A big hello to everybody from Ecomcy. Yeah, you're right. This is gonna be great. I'm super fired up. Everything
The
amazingly. And
same.
how you? How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show. I know everything that we're going to be discussing today is going to add a ton of value because the space is evolving very fast. And sometimes, if you don't have the right tools at your disposal, it can be a struggle. So I know you guys are Jackie are all about innovation, bringing the best things in terms of data, in terms of implementation for e-commerce purposes. So I'm very intrigued for giving you now the word in terms of learning more about Yakky because you guys have so many offerings, and I'm sure people on today's podcast are keen to learn more about you and how they can start using your offerings to scale their business. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and shall we? So, Yakyo, well, what can we say about Yakyo? At Yakyo, we are obsessed in supporting people that are selling online,
Yeah.
regardless their business model. But we really work to give access, the best access an e-compreneur could ask for to any kind of e-commerces, whether it's Amazon or building a brand or drop shipping, social commerce, you name it, we give you everything to support you. How do we do this? We do this through technology, of course, software technology, artificial intelligence, and so on. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna have a couple words about that. And of course, by putting at people's disposal our whole infrastructure, whole network of suppliers, of trusted suppliers we have been working with for a lot of years now. So to have reliable suppliers, fast shipping, efficient management of warehouses. So, I mean, you can really describe it as an ecosystem of services. I know that a lot of companies like to use this word lately, but this is actually an ecosystem of services that can really allow you to do anything, to get the first sale, to scale up a store, to change a business model, whatever you want to do. We're there, and we're there to support you.
Love it, love it. So I think based on this amazing intro, I think the perfect place to start is let's start a little bit with AI. I think AI is something that's been completely shifting, the way we do business when it comes to e-commerce. I don't know, you guys have just introduced something called Pandarocket AI, which essentially streamline the whole process from, finding that product until the end stage of pretty much putting it out there to start making sales. So let's start with the initial offerings because I feel the the streamline that you guys now bring it to the table in terms of making this so frictionless is gonna be so useful for so many sellers because let's be honest, a lot of sellers we struggle with limitations of time, limitation of resources, limitation of knowledge, and now essentially with a couple of clicks here and there, we're able to automate a lot of those things. So tell me a little bit about Pandora Rocket. Yeah.
Man, thank you. And yes, I love this. Let's get right into it.
Mhm.
So, basically, what can I say to start? Now, you consider that this company has been working with the compreneurs for many years, okay? And it's not just about providing a service, but it's like working, how can I say, very closely, okay? So we know
Shoulder to
exactly,
shoulder. Yeah.
yeah, shoulder to shoulder, yeah. Thank you. Spalla a spalla in Italian, shoulder to shoulder. So we know what the problems are, we know what the struggles are, what the challenges are, why they don't sleep at night, and exactly what they want. So this is what's behind Pandarocket, the AI-powered suite. We provide tools and a database of products that are there to help online sellers to sell better, sell faster. Every now AI, artificial intelligence, is the sexiest word of 2024.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and nowadays, of course, we have ChatGPT. You can find all kinds of tools, especially when it comes to digital marketing and e-commerce. But the tools that we are providing and the kind of technology that we are providing is specifically tailored to sellers' needs. So you were mentioning products earlier and timing, and these are two things that go hand in hand, because nowadays, especially right now in this kind of landscape where competition, right now, today, when we talk about artificial intelligence, you're not trying to convince people about the value of artificial intelligence, because by now people know that it's a thing. Okay,
Exactly. Exactly.
so what makes the difference is the kind of artificial intelligence you're using and the way you're using it. So, and also how you think of it, etc., the philosophy you have about it. So when it also comes to tools, you need to have something that others don't, or at least if you have that kind of access, that is going to be a competitive advantage. And this leads us to one of the most popular products, which is Winning Products, the Winning Products database, which is exactly what it says. Okay. So it's a database that contains items that are forecasted to be successful. So mind you, what you find in this database are items, and there are calculations that are telling you that these products in the next 2 months, of course, backed up by all the data, are going to be successful. This kind of data is going to tell you what will sell, when, how many units, and where. And with that, you can also have the data that tells you if these forecasts were right. Usually, let's say the reliability of these forecasts is very high. So we're talking about over 90%. So when the actual data is different from the forecasted data, it's always by a 1, 2, 3%, not more than that. So these are very, very precise. And they allow you to know what will sell. So we're not talking about scrapers, about, these kinds of tools that like spy tools. Those tools are operating on the present. So they're telling you what is happening now, what is hot now.
But
Which
know what is going to
means,
happen in the future, which, to be honest with you, that's where most Amazon sellers and e-commerce sellers struggle with. Is like, what is going to be the next big thing? How can I can time the market? How I can understand trends that are happening now that are going to effectively create some kind of a snowball effect on a specific niche, and I can be there to take advantage of that, right? Yeah, effectively. Yeah.
exactly. And mind you, this
Yeah,
is our technology here. We're not talking about other
of
kind.
course.
It's our tech. We developed this. But yes, this is why I say, we know why our customers don't sleep at night, because nobody wants to enter a crowded market. Nobody gives a damn of knowing that this is hot right now, because obviously you're going to have people that are sucking that vein already, that have more budget than you, that have a bigger team than you.
By the time you get there, it's going to
In
be
a
too
year
late.
ago,
Yeah.
saturation is just behind the corner. So who wants that? Nobody wants that. Instead, what you want is to know where the opportunity is. And this is what Winning Products is going to give you. And from that, I mean, there's so much that we do, you can do. We've seen our customers become very creative with this database, because once you
Mm,
have that kind of information, you can imagine also, the upsells, the cross sells, the
exactly.
bundles. So it's really really interesting. It's
Love it.
and you have filtering options. I mean, that's another beautiful thing about artificial intelligence and
Yeah.
machine learning, that in this database, when you not only find winning products, but you can either find products that will go viral, so that are going to have, that spike, and yeah,
Exactly.
then probably go down at a certain point. But you will also find products that are going to become bestsellers, and that gonna have a more consistent sales through time. So it's just a matter of how you filter it, of what you have to ask and you shall be given, literally.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I think that's amazing, and I love that because first of all, finding the winning product is the number one, a step towards having a successful e-commerce business. But I feel once we manage to find that hidden gem, the next thing that can break or make your business is the sourcing side of things. Because you could find the most interesting product that has a lot of demand here and there, but then if unfortunately you partner with the wrong manufacturers and you don't find the team that could do some quality product for you to effectively create the scale that your business needs, you're not going to be able to move forward. So tell us a little bit about how Jackie can also help, on the sourcing side of things to connect with once we find this amazing idea using Pandora Rocket. Yeah.
Most certainly. So, as I told you, Yakkyo is built on the fact that we have a very big network of manufacturers. We have been working with these manufacturers for years, way before drop shipping and e-commerce became so mainstream. We have been sourcing and importing products. And then, of course, the business evolved. So now we
Mhm.
support anyone who wants products and wants to import products. So this gives you an idea of the kinds of relations and of the reliability, because it's not just a matter of having the products and having quality products, of course, but it's also a matter of being consistent, of being able to import in those moments of the years where it's a little trickier, talking about Q4, talking about Chinese New Year's. It's always a matter of having manufacturers operate maybe in a specific way you need. So we can give you all of that. And it's very easy. Let's say that you are on the database of winning products and you're like, oh, I found it, I want it. All you have to do is just click a button and you request a quotation. So you go from Pandarocket to Yakkyofy, and this is seamless. You're not even seeing what's happening. The system is gonna say, "Hey, yeah, okay, we're gonna
Nice.
ask for the quotation to Yakkyofy." Okay, okay, and you just send out the request for quotation. And mind you, you can really ask for anything. It's not just a matter of knowing the price of the unit, but if you already think that you want customizations, packaging, anything for your brand or to distinguish, to make your product unique, you can already ask for that, and we're going to provide you with the quotation. Of course, the best price we are able to find, and of course, the best quality that is available out there. And we just provide it to you. And
Yeah.
always remember that there is a lot behind that, because we're not just providing the product, but we have the manufacturers, the backup manufacturers. Let's say that you start scaling that product and maybe one of the manufacturers is, for some kind of reason, cannot provide that product. We already know who is the B and the C and the D. Okay, so like
Nice.
there's a
Love
lot of
that.
work behind it, because we know how fast people can
And that happens
scale.
a lot, to be honest. We have seen that that you successfully find a product, you start working with a manufacturer that started with you from the very beginning, but then you reach a scale of volume, or you need to do certain level of quality that all the manufacturers not able to achieve anymore. And that's so great that you guys have already the backup, because sometimes if you don't have the backup, effectively the business dies. You don't have the right person to keep manufacturing the product at the scale that you need, super important.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why e-compreneurs might not sleep at night.
Yeah,
So yes, most definitely.
I've been there, don't worry, I know how it feels. So now, it's another thing I love as well is the fact that you guys allow the opportunity for the customizations of things. And why do I feel that's important? Because I feel sometimes we can find a winning product and that can be very successful, but people just sell the generic version, right? And
Yeah.
including something unique from a branding perspective, adding a small variation. And it's good that you guys also give that opportunity compared to other a solution that is only pretty much copy pasting whatever is being sold on China and just sending that's not adding any added value beyond the actual product itself,
Yeah,
to
hell yeah. I
differentiate.
mean, customization is so important because you really need to distinguish yourself. And the more we go on, and the more you need to make your product unique in the branding, in the marketing material, and of course the product itself. Now, let me tell you something. Because here, we're also focusing on Amazon. Uh, Amazon was probably the last territory that for which this private labeling discussion was a little less stringent, because anyway you have an advantage if you're private labeling. But let's say that if you're selling unbranded products, somehow, I mean, of course you can, yeah, of course you sell, because
Yeah, yeah.
anyway you're working with a brand, the Amazon brand, that stands for
Hmm.
certain things, and you're okay. Then 2 weeks ago, the Wall Street Journal comes up with this beautiful news that you probably know, and which is that, hey, now Amazon, to face a competition from Timo and AliExpress, is gonna develop a channel specifically for unbranded
Exactly.
products. So
Hmm.
what can I say? I mean, now you have directly that kind of competition on the platform, and just like for every evolution in e-commerce, you can have two kinds of reactions. You can start crying and tear out your chair and say, damn it, I'll just quit it. Or you start thinking of how am I going to manage this? This is a new challenge. And if you're asking me, customization and private labeling is exactly what's going to get you out of this. Okay.
Hmm.
Because I mean, at least for me and my vision, you're gonna have. I mean, of course, if you're doing FBA, FBM, whatever, you're gonna have the product that is gonna be sold. Is gonna get to the customer in less time. Okay, but at the same time, you always have people that are actually buying from Temu, from AliExpress. So the I mean, the timing matters a little less.
Yeah,
So what can you do? Well, you can work on quality. You can work on the quality of perceived quality of the product, on the customer's perception that what you are selling is high level, and what is being sold by because Chinese suppliers that are going to just list the products, they're not going to
exactly.
change their way of working. They're going to still
Yeah.
write the
And usually by
bullshit.
trade, I know this from experience, they are very good at doing very products at scale and be able to reduce their costs and everything, but they're not very good when it comes to personalization and branding. And that's where you can come in and bring something unique to the market.
Exactly, exactly. So, I mean, you already know how they're going to work. If it's competition, you already know what kind of competition. So just work on the branding. This is the thing. Branding is going to become something very important on Amazon, if you're asking me. And customization of the product for Amazon, and packaging and everything, and the marketing material. So working on those listings, those pictures, that is going to become something. and it's gonna give, I think, if it's well done, an even bigger opportunity for who is selling right now on Amazon.
For sure. Now, another thing that I feel is super interesting that you guys offer this service is the private level approach, but with the drop shipping hybrid approach. Why this I think is super interesting? Because I feel a lot of people are scared to do private level because it's very cash flow intensive. You need to deploy a lot of cash up front because it's essentially building a big batch of products to have your personalization, your branding, X, Y, and Z. But now, with the offering that you guys bring to the table, you can effectively keep these products into a warehouse that is, in this case, is sometimes close to the manufacturer, and it's going to make the operation so much more cash flow less intensive, and you can scale the business on a more on a less stressful way, effectively. So tell us a little bit how Jackio is basically achieving this for sellers.
Man, I love your questions. Seriously,
Mhm.
because these are the reasons why people that sell online don't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Seriously. Because the the fact that drop shipping was so comfortable and that you have no upfront investments and blah blah blah. Okay, but that was the past.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if even you want to test the product, as we're talking about testing, it has to, you need to build an offer that is perceived as super legit by the
Exactly.
viewer. We're not talking, people who buy online today are not the same ones that used to buy online 6 or 7 years ago. They're completely changed. So what happens, and why don't you sleep? Because you're like, oh my God, I need to test the product. I can't make an investment, but still, if I don't have a personalized, customized product with packaging and blah, 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 how can I make a viewer perceive that the product is legit, that the brand is legit? How can I go to an influencer? I can't send a drop shipping product to an influencer anymore. They're going to throw
Exactly.
it back at me. Come on. So, and how can I face competition that is doing this already? So this is a big fat problem that, yes, we solve. And yes, we solve it through what we call virtual warehouse. How does this work? Virtual warehouse is a warehouse which services we give for free to
Mhm.
our customers who decided that they want to sell through this formula, and allows you to keep your products, and then we ship them worldwide. Now, we the products that we keep at the warehouse are very small stocks, and this is the good part. When you are customizing products, and all the problem tied to the investments depends by the fact that when you're working with a manufacturer and you need a customization and they have to, put everything in place, you need a minimum order quantity, or else they're not
Exactly.
going to even look at you. Okay. And I mean, and it's right. I mean, I agree with the concept, because if you have to configure and do the whole setup, it has to be for a reason. Unfortunately, that reason is 5,000 units, 10,000 units. And of course, if you don't know if you're going to sell them, what are you going to do, So this is the part where everybody gets stuck. Now, when you're working with us, and because of our relations and because of the volumes of orders, and we can work with manufacturers to have a smaller MOQs, to have 50 pieces, even less than that, even though we don't advise less than 50, honestly. But yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, you can have very small MOQs. So
Hmm.
of course there is going to be an investment, and there are ways that you can get up to, testing. I mean, working with us, you also work with consultants that help you and give you advice on how to test products even before ordering 20, 30, 50 units, because these are the units we're talking about. But then at that point, when you order 50 units, you can really, you don't have the pressure of paying for the space, at the
I know.
logistics center. Everything is already there. You can just take your time and sell it. We can ship it worldwide. And shipping from the logistics center gives you faster shipping times because you're cutting off those like 3 to 4 to 5 days that it will take for the product to get from the manufacturer all the way to the logistics center and then to the final destination. So you can really include that to your strategy and just take your time and sell something that is legit, and maybe change your marketing, change your brand if you see that you're testing or that your ads are not performing, and you still have your products there. And at a certain point, you're gonna get it right and scale, and then we're gonna be there for you for how your plan
Exactly.
continues.
The next stage. And that's what I love. Like I feel until now, until I saw this solution, usually you had two verticals to go. Here you got the drop shipping approach and isn't really scalable to the extent that I mean, you cannot do your personalization. We have seen how dropship is being done, unfortunately, because of the lack of that. Or you go all the way to private level, but you need a ton of cash flow and a lot of stress, which is what we're basically discussing here. So now you guys made this amazing shift into combining the power of dropshipping, which give you the flexibility cash flow wise, but the power of private level to make sure you're unique in the market and you're able to diversify within specific niche. So it's the best of both worlds, right? It's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, and then you can also think that you can handle all kinds of, let's say that you have 50 pieces and you want to ship 25 to influencers. Then you just make, and then we ship that out for you. And then we keep the other 25 and fulfill those kinds of work. I mean, it's a tool.
Possibilities are endless.
Yes, yes. And you can do anything you want with that tool. Exactly.
I love it, love it. So, Robin, to start coming to a closure, I mean, we have discussed so many of the amazing things that Yakio brings to the table. So, is there anything else you would like to highlight before we end our episode today from your side?
Oh, I would have so many things to say, but
Is
yeah,
there
I
one
mean,
last thing that you feel I need to share this with you guys, or this thing that we can do before we close? Because I think it's definitely gonna add a
so
lot of value. Yeah, one
so
more thing.
I would say, well, going back to the artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
Panda Rocket has released its newest version last Wednesday.
Awesome.
So whoever is watching this, just know that there is a tool specifically made for e-commerce marketing that is super new technology with updates and all kinds of tools inside that you should really check out, and that can help you for anything. There is the newest tool, Video Vibe. You take the link of a product and it creates videos, it creates video ads for the products, and not video ads like the regular editors, but it calculates your target audience and creates video ads for your specific target audience. And if you want to add target audiences, you can do that. If you're still on Amazon, there is the review analyzer. I know that there are several on the market, but that review analyzer is something that you want to see, okay?
Nice.
And it really makes a difference. So I would say, just since you can try it for free, just go, and there are like 11 tools and the winning products database. Just go and check out the tools, because you already know that every time artificial intelligence is involved, it looks like magic. But when it's artificial intelligence specifically made for your industry,
It's a miracle.
yeah.
Love
Yes.
it. Love it, Robin. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And I'm sure a lot of
Thank
people
you.
now is keen to, try Jackie and all the amazing things you guys bring to the table. So how people can sign up?
So, if you want to try Yakkyofy, all you have to do is go to yakkyofy.com. So, if you looking for a partner for your e-commerce, instead, if you're looking and you're curious about the artificial intelligence for e-commerce, just go to pandarocket.ai and just sign up for free and test it, and let us know. I mean, friend me on LinkedIn, friend me on Instagram. I
Everywhere.
read everything. Give me your feedbacks. go on YouTube. We just opened up our YouTube channel of Panda Rocket, where you're gonna find all of the tutorials. They're made by me, so they're not boring, and they give you additional information on the value of the tools and how you can use them. So yeah, I mean, you can find us literally everywhere.
Pleasure, Robin. So I'm gonna make sure to put all your information in the description for people to find you. Other than that,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for being on the show, and I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
keep in touch and keep seeing the amazing things you bring to the table. Yeah, in the commerce space. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
We
Bye bye.
appreciate you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.